Hi guys, it's Janice. Today we are reading the book Mr. Min on the Farm. Mr. Silly was very excited. He had just bought a farm. He had always wanted to be a farmer, Farmer Silly. And on his farm he had some cows and sheep and pigs and a duck pond and chickens and an orchard and lots of fields. The only problem was that Mr. Silly had no idea how to be a farmer. Not a single clue. He was so clueless on the first day on the farm, he fed cornflakes to the cows. Cornflakes! For breakfast. For human beings, not for cows. Have you ever heard of anything quite so daft? No, I haven't. And there was more. He put the pig in the hen house and it got stuck. He filled the duck pond with custard and all the ducks flew away because it was far too sticky and too sweet. He trained the farm cat to herd the sheep. A sheep cat. What nonsense! All the sheep escaped. And he trained the sheepdog to collect the eggs. Well, which is not a good idea because, well, while the dog was walking, he kept dropping all of the eggs from the basket. Mr. Silly tried to plow his own field was definitely an even worse idea. Well, we go with straight lines, not like that. Finally, he picked the apples in the orchard with a saw. A saw? Picking up apples? By cutting down trees? Wow! By the end of his first week on the farm, everything had gone wrong. And because everything had gone wrong, there were no apples or sausages for little Miss Dotty's apple and sausage cake. There was no milk to go on with Mr. Greedy's daily packet of cornflakes. In fact, there were no cornflakes because Mr. Silly had fed them all to the cows. There were no eggs for Mr. Strong's breakfast, and we all know Mr. Strong needs his eggs for breakfast. Mr. Strong decided to investigate and walked up to the farm from town, which took rather longer than normal because he was feeling a bit weak without his eggs for breakfast. You might say he was exhausted with the egg. At the top of the hill at the farm gate, he found Mr. Silly, or rather, Farmer Silly really, admiring his acres and acres of farmland, looking as pleased as Punch. Well, that explains everything, sighed Mr. Strong, who set about putting everything straight. He began by collecting some eggs for breakfast. A lot of eggs for a big Mr. Strong kind of breakfast. Then, once he had regained his strength, he put the pig back in his pigsty. He arranged for Mr. Fussy to replow the land in beautiful straight lines. He fed hay to the cows. He asked little Miss Neat to replant the apple trees in the orchard in nice, neat rows. And he carried all of the sheep back to their paddock. Then he organized for Mr. Greedy to empty the custard by eating it. Everything was just how it should be, until he heard a loud cry of "Out!" coming from the other side of the hedge. Mr. Strong peered through the hedge and there was Mr. Silly playing tennis with the pig. How silly is that? Well, now we all know how really silly Mr. Silly is. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the story. See you next time. Bye.